Good morning and welcome to the weekly Team Achieve call where I hop on here, stuff. Hopefully somebody writes something down, takes something out of it, right? Moving forward, we have got a couple Success Club people. We've got Sir Kelly leading the pack with 4 points this month, which is awesome because Kel just signed up. So the fact that he's already understood Success Club and the importance of it and he's going for it, it's awesome. 1 more point, brother. Then following behind that, we have Jen Carr, because we have 2 Jens on the team now. She has 2, Kaylee has 2, Phil has 1. I am leading with 15, and I'll get into how I developed that 15 because it was 4 a week ago. So going into today, pretty much how I work every single call is I'm actually going to switch my view here. I gotta switch something real quick. Pin. There we go. All right. So every single week I get on here, I usually just share. I don't write a whole lot down. I just jot little bullet points down. But I usually share pretty much what's on my mind for that day or even that week. So all week it's been about storytelling. And the biggest thing that I typically hear is when somebody signs up as a coach, and this prevents a lot of people from signing up as a coach, it's because they don't have that after picture, right? They're not done with their transformation. Your story has to be shared, especially as a coach, as a person of influence, as somebody that people look up to. Your story should be shared as it's being written. And one of my quotes that I heard this week was, people will connect with your struggles, not your successes. So it's easy as a coach to hit these benchmarks of success and share those and be passionate about those. But for people who are still on ground zero, who have not even began their transformation, those people we're trying to reach out to help, they're not going to connect with that at all. They're going to say, okay, well, good for Chaz. Like for me, I just paid off my car all because of Beachbody. I've been taking my Beachbody paydays the last couple months and paying extra on that car, and I got it done. And I was able to share how passionate I was about doing that. But I know that there's a lot of people that will not connect with that because they still have 20 or 30 grand to pay off on their car maybe. So that's why I wanted to share that topic with you guys this week, is just get in the mindset of sharing your story as it's being written. Because it's easy to get in the mindset of signing up as a coach and not really doing a whole lot with the business because you feel like you're still on your journey, right? I've been there. I know. I look at myself still and I don't have like a shredded 6-pack and V-taper and huge back and all this stuff. I don't have that. So I find myself sometimes like, I'm not really going to share my progress pictures and all this stuff right now. I'm going to wait until I get jacked or ripped, and then I'll share it, and then I'll build the business to the next level. It's not going to happen that way, because when you sign up for this journey, there's no finish line. This thing is a lifestyle because it goes on for your entire life. So if you are sharing these story bullet points or benchmarks along the way, these milestones, that's where people are going to actually start to connect with you. And that, I look at my own journey and I sometimes forget where I started and where I came from with this business, because I literally just got on YouTube. When I first signed up as a coach 5 years ago, I got on YouTube and I simply just shared my progress with P90X and Insanity. I did not really ever mention that there was products for sale. I literally just got on there and said, hey guys, this is Coach Chaz. I'm doing this workout. I would show clips of my workout, and then at the end, I would pretty much tell people what I struggled with in the workout. I would put struggles in the workout too, which was a big one. Because like I said, people are going to connect with you struggling more than they will with you just being awesome at whatever you do, right? Nobody's perfect, and there's a lot of people out there on Facebook that you look at their Facebooks, and based on all their postings, you think that they live a perfect life. They make their relationship seem perfect. They make their job seem perfect. Their income is perfect. It's not that way in real life, right? You might as well be sharing not every single detail, but to an extent. You want to give people insight on your life. Like I talked about on one of the last calls, one of those quotes, your life and what you're doing on Facebook and YouTube and videos, it's a reality show. People are looking forward to that next episode. I'd had a good conversation with my mom for a couple hours yesterday. She came over to the house and we were just chit-chatting. And she's like, I know a lot of positive people, but even more so than the fact that you're my son, you're just a positive person. And she said that she literally every morning wakes up and looks at my profile because, like I said, she said it's not just because I'm her son, but she said it's because I typically do a motivational post in the morning. That's how I like to start my day, because I lift myself up first, and then I like to start the day off by posting something like that, and just lifting other people up who need to see it. And so my mom said, I go to your profile every morning and look forward to that, whether it be something you're struggling with or something that you're being motivated about. So that's kind of what sparked this whole idea here to do this topic today. And along with sharing your story, this is kind of a video topic I want to do a series on, not so much just for the team, but for anybody. Pretty much anybody in any business can use this. So I want to create some video series on how to build your story, because I was reflecting back on Super Saturday a couple weekends ago. It was the first time I hosted my own. There was only 5, 6, 7 of us in the living room here. So it was a great start. I didn't want a huge group at first. And I obviously got up there and shared my story, and I found myself wandering off my main storyline. And so I was reflecting on that, and I was thinking, how can I fine tune that story? Because especially being a coach of over 5 years, I have a lot of stuff I can talk about and ramble about, but a lot of it may not even be that important to my actual journey. So the thing I'm going to talk about after this next bullet point is going to help you kind of fine tune that story. And this is where I want to create the video series, because it can be broken down into 5 or 6 videos easily. So number one thing that comes down to building your story is you have to actively be working a program. And like I said in the beginning of the call, I hit Success Club 15 this month. I only had the goal of 5 in the first 2 weeks, and then I completely spaced on the Studs and Sequins Success Club party going on at Summit, and I always make it a goal to hit those Success Club qualifications every single year. And every year they're going to up it and make it harder because there's more and more people going. Last year was only Success Club 5 for 1 month, and you got that party. It was the white party. So this year they upped it. It's Success Club 10 this month and next. So when I heard that, about a week and a half, 2 weeks in, I said, yeah, I'm going to that. So I hit 15. How did I do it? This happened only because it's when I started the 21-day fix, because I actively started working a program and I started sharing about it. All I did was I posted food pics. I made sure I had the containers in the picture, and I simply just shared how I'm doing with it. That's all I did. And because of that, I got 5 or 6 challenge packs that rolled in. And those are customers. Those are new people. Some of them were old high school friends I haven't talked to for 8 years. But they came in because they saw me sharing my part of my story with them. They saw me sharing my passion for that program. And I was real with them. And the first couple posts I did, I said when 21 Day Fix first came out, it wasn't a huge deal for me personally, because I looked at those containers that are this big and I said, I need to eat more than that. And I saw all the result pictures coming out. And when I finally just said, you know what? I've seen people lose weight who I didn't think needed to lose any more weight. Obviously something's working about this program. I'm going to give it a try. And sure enough, I was eating more than I thought I would. So I was upfront with people. I told them I was skeptical at first, but now I am a 100% believer, because I took that leap of faith and went for it. But because I was actively working a program and putting myself out there about my journey with it, that's when people started getting attracted to me. This goes to last week's call. You have to build that attraction. And I got those challenge packs rolling through fairly easily. I did not have to do any upselling. I did not have to reach out to these people. I attracted them based on me sharing my journey with the program. So and as coaches too, we know we should be following our own advice. We should be following our own programs that we promote, but it's so easy to get scatterbrained on everything. Especially me, I have workout ADD. I cannot do a 90-day program. I don't know what it is, but I call it workout ADD. I get bored after 30 or 40 days typically. P90X3 was the first workout in years that I have stuck all the way through. I missed 10 days because we went on that cruise, but I stuck all the way through, and I only missed a few days. I stuck with the program. That was the first in years, guys. And before that, I would do these hybrids, and I would fall off track, and I would do all these random workouts. And if you do random workouts, your results are going to be random. So when you actually stick with one program, you kind of get known for being that guy who's doing that program or that gal. Like right now, people know, oh, I'm doing 21 Day Fix because they look at my Facebook and they see that's what I'm putting out there. And that's where people get attracted to it. So number one, be actively working a program. If you are not following something right now, just do it for whatever excuse or reason that you've been putting off. If people are looking up to you as a fitness coach for these programs and you aren't even doing them, how do you expect to coach others on doing them as well? People are, like I always say, people are going to follow what you do, not what you say. My most unsuccessful challenge groups have always been the months that I was not doing it myself. I can beat them over the head about nutrition and fitness and doing their workouts all day long. But if I wasn't doing it, they saw that and said, well, coach is slacking, I'm going to slack too. It's going to happen exactly like that, guys. If you don't believe me, try hosting a challenge group for 30 days, get 20 people in there, make it completely free, because that means no skin in the game. Tell them what to do, but don't do it yourself. Trust me, it will be the most unsuccessful group you will ever host. I have done several of them on accident. So be actively working a program. You have to share your passion about it. Don't be an undercover coach. It's amazing how many people did not even know I was a Beachbody coach for my first year or 2 years, because I signed up and I kept it private. People looked at my Facebook and they saw my regular posts, but never did I share anything about what I'm passionate about with Beachbody. I just shared about every other part of my life. And at the time it was massage therapy. That's what I was known for, 7 days a week. That's all I did. That's all I shared about. Even though I was following P90X at the time, I never shared it. So I was an undercover coach. And I always wondered, how come this business isn't working? Show your passion for what you're doing. Show your passion for Shakeology. That's another big one too. And this is something I've struggled with too. And I need to get better about sharing publicly about it. I've been using Shakeology for almost 4 years, probably even longer than that now. And I've found myself in the past not wanting to share about it because I was automatically thinking in the future to the, oh, well, isn't that expensive? When we have a product that is quality and it does cost money, it's easy to think about not sharing about it more because you are almost automatically expecting that response. But just like anything in life, if you follow what your heart believes and what you are passionate about, it'll work out. You will attract those who need to get attracted to you. Number 3. So actively be working on a program, show your passion for it, share your progress, your journey, your struggles, your triumphs, all that kind of stuff. Number 3, you have to share how the program is improving your life, your quality of life. Because we all know it's so much more than what the before and the after picture looks like. It's how you're changing mentally and internally. You have to be able to actually share the different stuff, like how's your sleep? This is stuff that people struggle with. Have you had for example, I had a shoulder injury when I first started P90X. I had just come off of a shoulder injury, and P90X literally saved my shoulder. I had subluxed and joint called the AC joint. I was actually unable to do massage for 4 weeks because it was so messed up and I could not apply any pressure on my clients. And I came off of that. I had gained 10 more pounds. I was at 225 at my heaviest, and I did P90X. And yes, I did have a before and after picture, but for me, most importantly, I had range of motion again. I was able to use my shoulder again. And so I can use that as part of my story because that's going to connect with some people. Because a lot of people, when they get these injuries, they tend to just hold them and baby them. They're afraid to put them through the range of motion that your body is designed to do to heal. So be sharing about how programs are improving your quality of life. Like 21 Day Fix, not only am I'm losing weight, but for me, the bloating I had post-vacation is gone. And that's something that a lot of people struggle with, is that inflammation of the stomach where you just feel like you have just air stuck in there, right? So when you start cutting back your portions and eating a little bit cleaner, all of a sudden your system flushes out and everything works perfectly. You're sleeping better. You're able to drink more water, which helps with your skin and all that kind of stuff. So be sharing about how your program is improving the quality of life. And you literally make a list if you want to. Make a list of how these little things have been helping out. Moving on. This is going to be kind of the heart of sharing your story. And like I said, when I was sharing my story at Super Saturday, I mean, Dawn was there. She knows me best. I venture off. And even Trista, Dawn, I don't know if you caught this, but even Trista, about 3/4 of the way through me sharing my story, I looked over at Trista and she's like, "Get back on track, hurry it up." So how do you fine tune your story? You have to, and this is another thing, make a list. You have to define your biggest milestones on your journey. And this is going to include the worst and the best. Because like I said, people are going to connect with your struggles more than they'll connect with your actual triumphs, your success. So make a list of wake-up moments. We've all had those. My first wake-up moment was 225 pounds, looking in my mirror after being a month off of work because of that injury. I looked in the mirror, and we all look in the mirror every day, right? But how often do you really just look at yourself in your eyes, scan what you look like and how you feel? That was the first time I had actually done that. I just looked in the mirror and said, I'm done. I am disgusted with myself. And that was my first wake up moment. That's when I ordered P90X. Yeah, you're going to have more than one of those moments too. I had another wake up moment on my Bahamas Success Club trip in 2012. That was the first moment that I saw what successful people, it's hard to describe really, unless you've been in one of those situations. Not so much the partying and what they look like, because they were all in super great shape. It's more than the money, but it was just the sheer, genuine happiness and freedom that everyone had. That was the first time I had seen that in person, and that was another huge wake up moment where I said, that's why I want to build this business. I want to be free and happy like these guys are. So that was another big wake up moment for me. And some other big wake up moments were that when my wife Trista first started getting burnout at her job and coming home in tears. The first time I saw her come home in tears from a long day of work and a horrible manager was the first day that I wanted it more for her than I wanted it for myself. And so that's my driving force now, because I was able to quit my job. That's all fun and games, but I don't feel fulfilled until I fire her boss. We all know what that feels like. So you have to make a list and practice this stuff, guys. Put yourself in that state of mind that you were in when you had those moments. Share your struggles, share your triumphs, make that list of these things. And like I said, there has to be an emotional connection to it too. You shouldn't be able to ever share these deep moments without getting some type of emotion, whether it be excitement or passion, or if you break down in tears. I mean, I was a guest speaker on our upline team, the bigger one, Team Fit Revolution, with Blake and Angie Warrington, 2 founding coaches. They wanted me to be on there as a guest speaker, and it was actually the first time I had really shared my Bahamas experience. And another huge wake-up moment for me was when Jason had brought me on that trip as a guest. I did not earn it. And when Jason called me and said, "Hey, I'm bringing you on this trip," and the first question he asked was, I have a room big enough for 3 of us, so let's go ahead and get you and Trista booked on flights. And I broke down because I could not afford to bring Trista with me. And that was another huge moment, and that just broke my heart. But that was the first time I had shared that part of the story to anyone, and I did it on a live call as a guest, and I almost lost it because there was so much emotion tied with that. this is where your why starts to develop. This is where your story starts to develop. It's never just, somebody asks me my story now and I just say, oh yeah, I did P90X and all these other programs. I lost 50 pounds and, oh yeah, I fired my boss and, I do this for a living now. There's no connection there. There's no emotional ties with it. So this is where developing your story is going to help you out in the long run. So next is, yes, best and worst for your milestones, defining moments. And the last one is your life is a book. Would you even like your own character? Ask yourself that question. Take yourself out, put yourself in the third person for a second. If you were reading a book and the main character was designed around your life, is that even a book you would want to read? And that can be a deep, meaningful question, or you can just say, what in the world is Chaz talking about? If you connect with that, though, think about that. What would make that character better? Sometimes we have to get out of our own heads and look at our own lives from an outside perspective, right? That's why we go to other people to ask for advice, because we know we don't have all the answers. We have to ask somebody else to look at us and say, what can I do? So look at yourself that way. If you are writing your own book right now, are these chapters of your life even things you would want to read about? If not, you are not living a fulfilling life. That's what we're here for, right? So ask yourself, and again, make a list. I'm a big fan of lists because they put it down on paper or on your computer, and for me personally, I'm able to see it as a whole and kind of get out of my own head and look at it realistically and say, okay, this is what needs to work, this is what needs to happen, this is what needs to change, etc. Make a list of how you can improve those chapters of your life that you're writing, and then come up with an action plan to make it happen. And last one is pretty much what I already touched base on. People connect with your struggles, not with your success. And like I said before, it's so easy to be in this business and not do a whole lot with it because you think that your journey isn't done. You're waiting for that big after picture, or you're waiting for you to hit it big with the money part, and you're waiting for that big finale, then share with everybody. Here, look what I did. Why not share what you're doing right now? Why not share what you're sick and tired of and why you're changing it? This is something based on fake it until you make it. I have done that for the last 5 years. Even up until this very day, I am faking it until I make it. I don't make thousands per week yet, but I act like I do, because by acting like I do and putting myself mentally there already, I'm going to follow up with action steps to get there. Because it's funny how our brains work. They say we only use 10% of our brain capacity. It's amazing how the brain works, but our brain is always geared towards answering questions and solving problems, right? So put yourself mentally in a spot that you're kind of uncomfortable with. For me, it's 2-star diamond and $1,000 a week. That's my big goal right now. And that's slightly out of my comfort zone, and it scares the crap out of me to even think about that. But because I'm putting my mindset there, my brain is forced to work in a way that it's going to bring me closer to that, because that's just how the human body and the brain works. It's kind of amazing. Do some research on this stuff. I read a lot about the body because I'm a nerd. But you start to learn about the brain and tie it in with business and stuff. And you see, no wonder why some of these CEOs and stuff are so successful, because they've put themselves there mentally. It's kind of like John C. Maxwell. Actually, I have the book right here. If you are not doing personal development, that's something I'm touching base on next. Get this. John C. Maxwell, 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth. This thing is awesome. I did not finish it, which is my own fault. I got halfway through it, and I'm picking it back up as of today, actually. there's a law in there that talks about the law of the lid, and it kind of ties in with this. Our self-image lid. You know, if we put ourselves right here, let's say scale of 1 to 10, you only look at yourself as a 5. You're only ever going to be able to do 5 work. You're only ever going to achieve level 5. The second you lift that lid on yourself to a 6 or a 7, guess what? There's room for growth. It's not going to happen right away. You're not going to hit that next level right away. But when you lift that lid, then there's room for growth. You're able to do the personal development, whether it be workouts and nutrition that you're working on for your own physical journey, or mentally, or business. The second you lift up your own self-image lid and start to let that belief come in a little bit, where you start to open your eyes and go, maybe I can do this. Maybe I can make this work. That's where that growth starts to happen. It does not happen instantly, but over time, you develop more and more and more. I look at my own life over the last 5 years, and I like my story because I'm an underdog. A lot of people don't know about me and my business and my story because I've been a slow, gradual climb for the last 5 years. But here's the thing. That climb has not been like this. It has been down, down, plateau, up. That's life, right? Life happens. You just have to keep your eye on that prize, that big goal. And guess what? When that big goal happens, because you will reach it one day if you believe in yourself enough, when that big goal happens, set the next one so you do not get comfortable. Because the second you settle for complacency, your life will become boring. Trust me, I have seen it firsthand, and it's not a pretty sight. Do not get complacent. So the second you find yourself plateauing, take a step back, look at your chapter that you're writing in life right now, and ask yourself, how can this character develop more? How can this character be better, be more inspiring to people, help other people? Ask yourself those questions, make a game plan, and get back on that up climb. Because it's never so much about getting to that end goal as it is focusing on always being on the up climb. Because if you focus on staying on that up track, even when you fall down, get back up. As long as you stay on track with getting up and moving forward, those goals will happen naturally. I just caught this right here again. I forgot to take it down. It says paid in full. It's a picture of my car. That took me 6 years to pay off a 4-year loan because there was several months where I missed payments. I was 45, 60 days late sometimes. I had a couple notices about them repoing it. And so people look at my post I just did and were, oh yeah, I just paid off my car. That wasn't easy. That's a prime example of I would do my payments on time every month and then miss a month, let it slide a little bit. But as long as I kept focusing on getting back on track with it, eventually that goal was reached. I was able to walk my last payment into the bank last week. So just focus on getting to your next milestone because your big goals will happen organically as long as you're hitting those milestones along the way. So aside from that, hopefully that helped at least one person out with something that they needed to hear today. Last thing on my agenda is personal development. Raise your hand if you have slacked on personal development. I'm raising mine because I've slacked big time. And guess what? I felt a difference up here. I was so on track with personal development every single morning and every single night for probably 2 or 3 months. And the last 2 weeks, I haven't done a whole lot. I've been watching my videos and the calls and that kind of stuff. But as far as my usual reading that I do, because I take something out of reading. A lot of people don't. I never thought I would. I was never a reader until I started doing this stuff. I missed 2 or 3 days. I'm like, okay, whatever. And I just never made the time for it. I felt such a huge difference the last 2 weeks in my mindset. Personally, we have some family stuff going on right now, which I'll share down the road. But it's been weighing on my mind more than ever. And because I've not been doing my personal development, I find myself getting drugged down a little easier, or not a little, a lot easier than usual. So that's why personal development is so important. That was a good reminder for me because it's easy to do something consistently and you kind of get used to it. Like Shakeology, for example, it's easy to use it. After a while, you're like, okay, do I really need it? And then you miss maybe a week or two and you go, holy crap, that was making a big difference. Same thing happened with this. Mentally, that personal development is gold. That is fitness for the mind. It truly does develop you into a better person with a better mindset and a better leader, more confident. So personal development accountability. I need it. Just because I am the diamond coach of the group and I started this whole thing, I'm not anyone's boss. I'm not perfect. I fall off track like everyone else. I'm raising my hand saying I need help with personal development accountability. So in the past, I've done something called Personal Development Book Club, where we typically all read the same book, and then whether it be like weekly assignments or we just go in there and share quotes based on our reading for that day. I want to start that again. Not so much I want to help you guys out, but it's for me. I need that accountability. So I know there's other people out there that may have been struggling with it. So if you want personal development accountability, I'm going to put that group together. It's going to be a separate group rather than our regular Team Achieve group because I want it to be focused accountability just on personal development. We're kind of in a 3/4 of the month, so we don't have to all read the same book, but I want us to all be reading something, whether it be audiobook or physically reading. And what we'll do is we'll get in that group and share, whether you do like 1 chapter a day or 10 pages or whatever, I want you to share what you took out of it that day. So that's going to help me get back on track. I know it's going to help a couple of you get back on track. So message me directly after this call, or if you're watching the recording, comment below or message me, and I'll get you plugged in there because I'm making that group right now after the call. So aside from that, we will open this thing up for Q&A if you guys have any questions. Everyone good? Thumbs up? You all look so pretty. I'm going to take a picture of you guys. Everyone get their big cheesy smiles on. Come on. Did you see the coat I was wearing last night? Dawn posted that picture in the group. Don't care what people think.
Yeah, you look like a thief. Straight up.
I had like my wallet and keys and everything shoved in those pockets.
I know, that's the first thing I thought. He's stealing shit.
At their Goodwill. All right. I'll do a screen print. What do you guys want to do? Thumbs up, cheesy smiles. You guys want to do an X? All right.
Do an X.
I have to hit the button, so I'll do. I don't know. I'll do a thumbs up.
Thumbs up is good.
Ready?
Thumbs up.
Everyone give a thumbs up.
It's got to be a straight one.
3, 2, 1. All right. Got it. I will tag each of you. Thank you, lovely people, for continuing to be a part of this team. It's honestly a blessing in my life. More than you think it is. We're all in this together, even though we're individual coaches with individual goals. We're here as a team because God put us on this earth to be a community together, to lift each other up. So I thank each of you for doing that for me, with me, and I will see you guys later. Have a great day.
Peace.
You too.